I've wanted to be a historian since I was about 15 years old, and I wanted to focus on African American history because I decided that if I could teach the world, teach people about the history of this country, our collective history, then I could work to somehow better race relations, to somehow allow people to understand more about the history of African Americans in this country, and to break down barriers of racism. I am very excited to say that I will appear in 3 episodes of a new series on the History Channel called I Was There. It is actually hosted by Theo Wilson, who is a grandson of one of the Tuskegee Airmen. And so they will re-dramatize different events in history so that the person who is watching can really feel like they were there in the moment. And so I will be doing 3 episodes, one that focuses on John Lewis and Bloody Sunday, one that focuses on John Wilkes Booth and the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln, and another on Holmes, who was a serial killer during the Chicago World's Fair. I Was There will premiere on February 20th and 21st. I will be in the episode on the 21st. That one will focus on John Wilkes Booth. And then the entire series will premiere on February 28th, and 1 episode will be played weekly. I am really honored to be one of 3 historians who are featured in a new short documentary entitled Lynching Postcards, Token of a Great Day. This was done by director Christine Turner, and it is part of a documentary series that is distributed by MTV Documentaries, and they will all focus on different aspects of American history. And this one is particularly unique because there is no documentary that really focuses on this aspect of American history and begins to investigate lynching through the way in which people used postcards to kind of commemorate and popularize these events. But the other thing that the documentary does is it also speaks to how people worked against this system and tried to change it. People can stream it. It has, since its opening, been nominated for an NAACP Image Award. It was shortlisted for an Academy Award. And so it is really, I'm glad to see that it's getting that kind of acknowledgement, because that means more people will be able to watch it and learn from it. So one of the most rewarding parts about the research that I've done, whether it's through the television series or the documentary or my books, or just the research that I use in class, is being able to really expose the truth of American history, both the triumphs and the tragedy. Not everything looks great in American history, but there are other moments where I am able to and happy to be able to really illuminate African American agency and the ways that people created resistance in the face of seemingly insurmountable issues, and the ways that people engaged in resilience and community building. And so being able to bring that information to a broad public beyond the boundaries of a campus so that other people can really experience that and learn from it and be inspired by stories in history is one of the most rewarding parts of the work that I do. One of the most challenging is, of course, dealing with the emotion. I wrote about lynching, for instance, for 20 years before the book was completed, and it never got easier. It's just, I try to adopt an understanding that it is important work. And so my husband once said to me, if you don't tell them, they'll never know. And I think that applies to all of us. Once we learn any of this history, if we don't tell others, they'll never know. So there's a responsibility that each one of us has to spread the knowledge that we have. And I think students should really consider being history major or minors, because it's not just about learning the dates or what happened. It's about being able to learn critical thinking skills, being able to analyze ideas and documents. You learn invaluable writing skills, how to put together reports, how to create a thesis, and you really begin to better understand your modern world when you are exposed to ideas in history, when you sit in a history class and you begin to have conversations with others and understand how we arrived at where we are today.